In this video, I want to talk briefly about something else you can do if you're fighting off political stress or trauma. It's a very simple thing, and it's to do with crayons. These are Crayola crayons, and this is a picture of the American flag. Now, I've been an artist for a long time, and about 7 or 8 years ago, I was making my own beeswax crayons. And I stopped doing that because it was difficult to meet all the ASTM regulations and the testing for the product and everything. I still use them in fine art, and they're wonderful if you don't have beeswax crayons, and there are a few other brands on the market. Crayola crayons have consistent color and lay down, and they're a wonderful product. So I've used crayons in a fine art application. But this is something that is really a good stress reliever in these times. No matter who you voted for, I personally am having a very hard time with all of the news. Every time I turn on the news, it's something else political, and it's overshadowing normal function. It's always the next story or the next tweet or the next trauma. And I also do believe that all of this, and I won't get into my personal views, but I think this is all traumatic for Americans. So a very simple thing you can do is go online and look for free American flag graphics. I found this one. I don't have the website. I saved the image to my computer, and then I printed out several of them on regular copy paper. And now I've already done a few, but just the action of sitting down and coloring an American flag, you take back your own feelings about the flag. And as an added bonus, Crayolas are made in the USA. So you can buy American, think American, and you can restore your own American values simply by coloring a flag. Now, as I said, I use crayons in a fine art application. There is also, after I started making my own crayons, there was kind of a big boom in adults coloring for stress, and now there are all kinds of different coloring books available for adults. Most of them that I've looked at, most of them are not as stress relieving as you might think. For example, there are several very intensive geometric designs. Those are going to force your brain to really overthink. And you think you're sitting there spacing out because you're coloring, but your brain is processing that intricate design. I have Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, and Santa coloring books. And then, like I said, I downloaded the American flag. If you keep the actual design simple, I've also had simple seashells, simple bird outlines, anything that's a natural element or a happy element. Easter eggs, simple Easter eggs are good to color. But personally, I would recommend, if you're coloring for stress or stress reduction, to avoid the heavily intricate designs, because the choices of where you're going to put the colors in all those spots immediately kicks your thinking into overdrive. So you're actually doing the same as, say, a 40-page report instead of coloring. So put some thought into that if you buy coloring books, but take your own America back by coloring an American flag with crayons made in America for a long, long time. A box of 8 Crayolas, which is really all you need, because or you could use Prang. Prang is good, or you could use generic. Generic are about 99 cents at a store. A box of 8 Crayolas will be about $2.75. It's a wonderful way to relieve stress and reaffirm your own beliefs in America. And one other note, it's not your finished coloring that matters. When you are coloring to reduce stress, really, and kids benefit from this all the time, it's the action of moving your hand and producing something. That is the stress reliever. This is it right there. This is what sends certain brain wave patterns into action, or certain amino acids, or even any kind of stress relieving chemicals, soothing chemicals. This action of moving a crayon back and forth, that is the stress reliever. It's not making sure that you don't get any blue in the white stars. That would actually cause stress. It's not at all what your finished drawing looks like. It's the action of taking a colored stick and laying it down on a white background, and your brain is absolutely productive. You can't get any more productive than that. And it's so easy and so inexpensive, and it has so many psychological benefits that it's unbelievable. This is why so many people would love to be artists, because they may not like the actual profession of being an artist because it's not easy, but what they're looking for is this production, and it's in crayons. Now, when that whole big boom started with adults coloring, it was presented publicly and marketed as a fad would be, and it annoyed me to a great extent, not only because I was already working in crayons, but also because that's not the benefit. I mean, the benefit isn't, oh wow, you can act like a kid and get away with it. That was the whole way it was presented, and that's not the benefit. It's an actual scientific benefit that anybody can take advantage of, and it's not the coloring or the goofing off or the spacing out. It's the physical action of taking color and putting it on a white background, and your brain reacts to that as if you're doing the most positive thing you could ever do. And again, as you can see, I already feel better just from doing that much. So there's nothing negative about this at all. And the flag graphics are free, and this is so much better than going on social media and reading it all, bringing it into your life, having the news on, the television all day. You have to keep control of your own balance, and this, I believe, is a scientific way to actually keep the chemicals in your brain ready and able to handle the stress that we're dealing with now. And like I said, it's all American.